This is going to be the last installment of my talking about the electronic voice phenomenon and my experience with it. It's actually a full, it's like a week-long story, or actually it's a month-long story of me experiencing these things because of what took place. Last installment, my video yesterday was all about how the electronic voice phenomenon predicted snow. So it is interesting, like, just what is it, Is it our imagination? Is it spirits like everybody seems to say it is? Could it possibly be aliens? Is there some way that it has a way of transcending time and space? But first, please subscribe if you are new to this channel. Please like, share, and comment. That means a lot to me because it's a new channel. We actually are coming on to month number 1. And so thank you very much for your support. I really do appreciate it. If you want to know more about the kind of interesting stuff that I do in live performance, in other words, stuff that I haven't been doing this month, but normally I do stuff in live performance on stage, and you can learn more about that by going to my website at themanwhoknows.tv. Subscribe to my newsletter while you're at it. You get a free gift. So we're talking about the electronic voice phenomenon, and basically how it went after my car crashed in Connecticut, snow piling down on my windshield, and I had to get a rental. I had to, take my car, get my car towed to a shop, get a rental, and then drive back home. So during that drive back home, I ended up calling a friend of mine. And the friend that I end up calling is my good friend Jerome Finley, who I talked about in my very first episode. So Jerome he's got like a real open mind. And so he's like the kind of guy who might actually believe in a story that just happened to me like this. The ghost predicted snow, or maybe whatever. So, I explained to him the entire story from all the way up until that point. And he's like long silence after I'm done with the story. And he goes, "Well, you have me very, very interested in this electronic voice phenomenon stuff," because he'd never heard of it before. And so about a week later, he calls me up to tell me that he bought like over $1,000 or $2,000 worth of electronic ghost hunting equipment. And one of the things that he ends up getting is a thing called the Ovilus 2. Okay, so the other day we talked about the Frank's box. The day before that we talked about the SB7. Now we're talking about the Ovilus 2, which is interesting because it kind of reads the electromagnetic waves in the room or something like that, and then it translates it through a dictionary program that allows you to it allows it to spit out random words from the dictionary. So instead of having to figure out what the word is that the radio signal is sending you, because sometimes it's like a part of a word, you get full words coming out of this particular program. So it's kind of a way of being able to experience randomness and how sometimes interestingly coincidental it can be. So you create these synchronicities anyway. So the interesting synchronicities happen to Jerome throughout this entire time, and one day he calls me up and says, I just want to put it out there. I hope that this doesn't happen, but I believe that there's going to be a plane crash. And so apparently the words that were being spit out of this Ovilus 2 were words like screaming and crashing and airplane and fire, and just words that were kind of it wasn't all the words, but it was just enough of a repetition of those types of words over like the past 2 or 3 days of him doing it for like 20 minutes a day, that he calls me up and says that there might be a plane crash or something like that. And so the next day, in every newspaper, and it didn't happen anywhere near Salt Lake City where he was at, didn't happen anywhere near DC where I was at, it happened in Poland, in Warsaw. Basically, I believe it was President Kaczynski ended up dying in a plane crash, and he was the president of Poland. And so that's kind of weird that even though it didn't happen anywhere near us, on the other side of the world, somehow we managed to, there's a plane crash that does get manifested, and you see it in every single newspaper. So that is the strange story of my EVP experience, starting from the very first to this last one, which was which involved my friend Jerome once again. And I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed today's edition of Real Life Stories of the Impossible. Again, please comment, like, share, subscribe, especially if you have an experience that's similar to this. Please, comment below. I'm interested in your stories. And besides that, enjoy your weekend. We'll be back tomorrow. I do a little bit of a longer show. I'll do a little bit of a deeper dive into what we discussed this week, and we'll see you then. Bye.